Local coverage continues now. Joining us live in studio this morning is Congressman David Cicilline. Thanks for coming back, joining us again.
Great to see you.
Good to see you too. A lot going on. Let's start with your trip to Cuba with the president. That must have been an interesting experience for you.
Great. It was a very historic trip. The first time our president has been there in I think 88 years. The beginning of a new relationship between our countries, the normalization of relations. I think it's going to be a long time before we see real change in Cuba, but this was an important first step. We've had an embargo in place, and that has not effectively changed the policies in that country for 50 years. So it's time to really engage with Cuba, hope to bring about a better quality of life for the Cuban people, and certainly allow Americans to visit that country and invest in Cuba.
Closer to home, you're trying to help people have a better quality of life here in Rhode Island. Foreclosure is obviously a huge issue, not only in Rhode Island, but all over the country for many years now. Talk about that fund.
The hardest hit fund was identified for 12 states that were 13 states that were hardest hit by the foreclosure crisis, Rhode Island being one of them. The Treasury Department released the second tranche of money, $26 million this past week, to help Rhode Islanders who are facing foreclosure, to help stabilize neighborhoods. So folks who are in that kind of situation should contact my office or any of the other congressional offices so we can connect them to those resources.
Karen Macbeth is someone who has switched parties and would like your job, and that's something that you'll have to deal with down the road a bit. But we're in that political season where you start to see new names pop up. Your thoughts initially on that as you get ready to run again?
You know, the campaign's a long way off. There are two Republican candidates. They'll have to decide who will be their nominee, and there'll be lots of opportunity to kind of compare what I'm fighting for in Washington and what they would do there. So.
All right, on a national level, though, we have some presidential candidates coming to Rhode Island this weekend, both on the Republican and Democratic side. I mean, it's pretty odd, but also very cool that these candidates are coming to Rhode Island, because usually they just kind of fly over Rhode Island, assume that it's all set and done there. They don't really have to come campaign. So this is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's great because they finally recognize the importance of our great state. But it gives Rhode Islanders an opportunity for us to see these candidates up close and to hear them make their cases. I'm obviously very excited about Secretary Clinton coming to Rhode Island on Saturday, but it gives us an opportunity to kind of compare what candidates are committing to doing and what their records are, and I think it's great for Rhode Island. I hope people will listen to the candidates and make the right decision on Tuesday.
About 30 seconds left. Anything else going on for you?
Senior Resources Fair coming up. I want to be sure people know about it at the East Providence Senior Center at the end of the month. There's information on my website. And also, yesterday we released 15 pieces of legislation, a bipartisan task force to combat the opioid addiction.
Right.
I've been an active part of that. A lot of good legislation to help address this really serious public health crisis.
All right, thanks so much for coming in this morning. Great to see you as always. For more information, you can go to Congressman's website or WPRI.com as well. If you'd like to see this entire interview again, it's in entirety. It'll be there too.